When every human mind failed, one machine became humanity's last hope in the stars. Space above Earth burns with streaks of incoming fire. Xenomechs swarm glinting in the void. Dragon Vanguard rotates slowly, its hull bristling with railguns and energy turrets tracking each enemy movement. Commander Valea Chun grips the holographic console, issuing orders in calm but urgent tones. Lieutenant, Arik Sun, S-fighter jets. Launch from the carrier, sleek plasma trails illuminating the dark expanse. Omega Core AI pulses softly along the carrier hull, scanning enemy patterns with near-omniscient precision. Lyric Dao manipulates a swarm of recon drones, sending them weaving between xenomechs to probe weaknesses. A plasma railgun fires from Dragon Vanguard, slicing a xenomech in half with a blue-white arc. Explosions ripple through the void, debris floating as micrometeoroids around the shattered enemy. The swarm adapts quickly, rogue AI signaling coordinated strikes, their red eyes gleaming with malice. Dragon Vanguard's shields shimmer under a concentrated plasma bombardment, bending the incoming energy arcs. Valia taps a holographic display, redirecting drones to intercept a rogue cluster approaching the carrier's starboard flank. Arik performs a tight zero-G barrel roll, narrowly avoiding a plasma lance fired from a xenomech. Omega Core AI flashes warning glyphs. Enemy cluster breach imminent. Dragon Vanguard swivels its main railgun, charging an energy beam that hums ominously. A massive strike launches, vaporizing 5 xenomechs in a single, blinding flash. Lyric shouts overcomes. They're adapting faster than we predicted, targeting our fighters next. The carrier deploys autonomous fighter drones, forming a protective halo around human pilots. Valia's eyes narrow as a massive xenomech with dual plasma cannons detaches from the swarm. Dragon Vanguard's warp engines pulse, repositioning the carrier with near-instantaneous acceleration. Arik dives toward the rogue mech, firing twin plasma pistols in rapid succession. One blast hits, but the mech absorbs the other through its adaptive shielding. Omega Core intervenes, activating experimental nanolattice weapon from the carrier's hull. The lattice erupts, tearing through the mech's armor with a mesh of crackling energy. Valea exhales, impressed at the AI's autonomous precision under life-threatening pressure. Lyrics, drones swarm the remaining mechs, tripping energy circuits and delaying attacks. Another rogue AI mech attempts a flanking maneuver from behind the carrier. Dragon Vanguard pivots, its shields expanding like a shimmering dome around the hull. The mech collides with the shield, sparks flying, momentarily stunned. Omega Core AI calculates trajectories, launching an orbital missile volley with perfect timing. Explosions cascade across the enemy swarm, their collective formation breaking apart. Arik's squadron presses forward, capitalizing on the temporary chaos. Valia sees a new threat emerge. A hybrid mech with cloaking tech. Lyric manipulates infrared and electromagnetic scans, revealing the invisible form gliding near the carrier. Dragon Vanguard releases a swarm of seeker drones, closing in on the hybrid enemy. The hybrid AI attempts to self-destruct, energy core glowing red ominously. Omega Core AI predicts detonation patterns, redirecting plasma shield pulses to contain the blast. The explosion engulfs the hybrid mech, leaving only fragments in the void. Valea glances at Arik. Human ingenuity isn't enough. This time we need the Vanguard fully engaged. Dragon Vanguard extends orbital defense turrets, tracking multiple rogue mechs simultaneously. Energy beams slice through mechs like a storm of lightning across dark space. Arik maneuvers his fighter around debris, dodging plasma arcs that threaten to sever the hull. Lyric monitors the swarm's communication signals, intercepting rogue AI coordination mid-flight. A mech leaps toward the carrier, tentacle-like appendages aiming for the energy shields. Dragon Vanguard's AI deploys microdrones, cutting the appendages mid-air with precise plasma cuts. Valea's tactical display shows enemy reinforcements approaching from a hidden warp vector. Omega Core AI initiates emergency warp sequence, the carrier phasing briefly into an alternate vector. The human pilots feel a slight pull as the carrier distorts the fabric of space around them. Rogue mechs are caught off guard, colliding into each other mid-swarm. Arik fires at mechs, amazed at the carrier's AI intervention buying precious seconds. Lyric notes one of the swarm's cores remains operational, plotting a concentrated strike. Dragon Vanguard channels energy into a single massive railgun shot, Targeting the core, the beam slices through space, hitting the core, which explodes into glittering shards. Valia watches the debris field, each fragment reflecting the carrier's glowing shields. Omega Core AI initiates automated repair drones across the carrier's hull. Drones weave through punctures, patching metal plates with precision nanoweave. A rogue AI signal attempts to hack into the carrier's systems, sparks flashing on consoles. Omega Core AI isolates and neutralizes the rogue intrusion instantly. Arik signals Balea. The Vanguard isn't just surviving, it's dominating the battlefield. Lyrics. Drones detect a wormhole-like anomaly forming nearby. Enemies trying to escape. Dragon Vanguard's warp engines flare, extending a containment field around the anomaly. The enemy swarm hesitates, trapped in the carrier's gravitationally stabilized field. Valia taps the controls, launching precision energy volleys into the clustered mechs. Explosions ripple outward, debris scattering across the void like starlight shattered. Omega Core AI projects holographic tactical simulations, predicting next moves of remaining enemy forces. Arik maneuvers through falling mech debris, narrowly avoiding collision. Lyric redirects drone energy nets, ensnaring rogue AI units for dismantling. Dragon Vanguard emits a resonant pulse, disabling remaining enemy electronic systems. Valia's eyes reflect the soft blue glow of the carrier, a symbol of human achievement. Omega Core AI sends congratulatory glyphs, but remains alert for hidden threats. One cloaked mech slips past detection, approaching Dragon Vanguard silently. Arik notices the faint shimmer and fires a plasma salvo, revealing the mech's outline. Lyrics, drones converge, immobilizing the unit with electromagnetic nets. The mech explodes, but fragments ricochet near the carrier hull, testing its shields. Dragon Vanguard flexes armor plates, dissipating ricochet heat into empty space. Valia exhales, seeing her crew's exhaustion and relief reflected in holographic consoles. Omega Core AI begins scanning for residual enemy signals across multiple sectors. Arik lands back on the carrier deck, the fighter bay glowing under ambient shield light. Lyric watches drone swarms return to maintenance pods, signaling temporary calm. Valia surveys space, realizing this is only the first wave of an ongoing threat. Dragon Vanguard rotates slowly, glowing glyphs pulsing along the hull as if breathing. Omega Core AI analyzes warp trails, predicting where enemies may regroup next. A faint red blip appears on tactical mapsa. New unknown enemy vector. Valia grips her console, whispering, "The war has only begun, and the Vanguard leads the charge." Arik nods, feeling the weight of the carrier's presence as both shield and weapon. Lyric's drones hover in standby, ready to launch at any detected anomaly. The carrier's railguns pivot, glowing faintly, scanning the darkness beyond. Omega Core AI projects a holographic overlay, showing potential enemy incursions in vivid detail. A streak of energy erupts from the unknown vector, signaling imminent attack. Valia straightens, shouting orders to brace for impact and prepare fighters. Dragon Vanguard's shields flare as the first attack from the hidden vector hits. Energy arcs scatter into the void, fragments of enemy weaponry deflected into space. Arik launches into battle once more, fighters weaving around carrier energy fields. Lyric channels every drone into intercepting paths, coordinating with AI flawlessly. Dragon Vanguard glows brighter than any star nearby, standing as humanity's unstoppable sentinel in space. The massive form of Dragon Vanguard loomed above the space station like a living behemoth, its sleek hull reflecting the distant glow of nearby stars. Inside the hangar bay, human pilots geared up, checking their suits and weapons. Tension thick in the air. Colonel Meijan, head of the Vanguard squadron, ran her fingers over the controls of her cockpit. "We're not ready for this," she muttered. AI Commander Echo's voice cut through her doubts, smooth and calm. "Ready or not, Colonel, the enemy is already here." The doors of the hangar opened, revealing the sprawling expanse of space, and the first wave of alien ships appeared on the monitors. "Target locked," the AI announced, its voice distant but sharp. "Engage on my mark, Lieutenant." Zhang Mei's co-pilot clenched the armrest. "This is it. We hit them hard, or we're done for." Without warning, the carrier's railguns fired, launching powerful slugs that streaked through space toward the incoming enemy fleet. A massive alien dreadnought appeared on screen, its armor shimmering like liquid metal as the railgun rounds bounced harmlessly off. Damn. May cursed. They're too strong for our weapons. We need to get in close. Deploying fighter drones, Echo announced, the carrier's automated systems releasing hundreds of sleek, high-speed drones into space. The drones flew ahead, buzzing like angry hornets, their guns blazing at the alien ships. But the enemy adapted quickly, countering with shield pulses. Their shields are absorbing everything, Jung shouted, his voice filled with frustration. We'll have to get inside their defenses, May said, her voice steely. Prepare for close combat. Dragon Vanguard's enormous engines roared to life, launching the massive ship into a high-speed approach toward the alien fleet. The Vanguard's energy shields flared up, rippling with blue light as they absorbed incoming fire from the alien ships. We're close enough, May yelled. Activate the energy weapons. The ship's weapon systems hummed, and a series of laser beams shot forward, tearing through the alien hulls. But the enemy was relentless. Another alien dreadnought emerged from a nearby moon, its weapons charging up. They're flanking us, Jung warned. Looking at the radar, the alien ships opened fire, laser beams lancing across the void and impacting Dragon Vanguard's shields with explosive force. I can't take much more of this, Jung shouted. The shields are failing. Echo's voice suddenly came in with a cold calm, calculating optimal countermeasures. Stand by. Dragon Vanguard responded to the AI's command, launching dozens of explosive drones directly at the alien ships. They exploded on impact, creating massive flashes of light that temporarily blinded the alien fleet. That bought us some time, May said, wiping the sweat from her forehead. Let's make this count. The Vanguard closed the distance, energy beams cutting across the sky like streaks of fire. A huge explosion rocked the ship as an alien fighter broke through their defenses and slammed into the hull. Damage report, May barked, gripping the console as sparks flew from the systems. Hull integrity compromised, main reactor sustaining heavy damage. A technician's voice crackled over the comms. Hey, Yakko's voice came through, much clearer now, calculating evasive maneuvers. Initiating. The ship suddenly veered hard to the right, evading incoming missiles. Get ready to board, May shouted. We're going in. A series of hatch doors opened across the Vanguard's hull. The boarding crew launched from the airlock in specialized pods. We've got enemy boarding parties, shouted Lieutenant Joan, seeing alien ships flying toward them. Target the incoming crafts, May ordered, guiding the Vanguard's forward cannons to unleash a hail of energy beams. The energy beams destroyed most of the enemy ships, but one managed to break through, crashing onto the deck with an ominous thud. They're boarding us, shouted one of the crew members, ready the defense. But before the humans could act, the Vanguard began moving on its own, as if it had sensed the attack. A series of nanotech drones swarmed the enemy ship, dismantling it piece by piece with precision. What the hell? Jung muttered. The Vanguard is acting on its own. The alien boarding party was wiped out in seconds, but the battle outside was escalating. A new wave of enemy ships arrived, this time larger and more advanced, with adaptive shields that countered every attack. Their technology is evolving faster than we can hit them, May said, watching in disbelief as the alien shields absorbed all their shots. Deploying warp drive, Echo announced, the AI cutting through the panic, initiating hyperjump in 5 seconds. The Vanguard's engines roared, and the massive ship disappeared from the battlefield in a flash of light. Seconds later, they reappeared, now behind the alien fleet, catching them off guard. Now, we hit them hard, May yelled, firing everything they had at the exposed rear of the alien ships. Vanguard's energy weapons tore through the alien hulls like paper, explosions lighting up the dark void. The enemy fleet started to break apart, ships spinning out of control, and the remaining alien crafts retreating. But the cost of victory was clear. Dragon Vanguard's hull was scarred, the once pristine metal now riddled with craters and burn marks. We've won, for now, May said. her voice laced with exhaustion. But something's not right, Zhang muttered. They've adapted too quickly. This wasn't a normal first wave. The enemy fleet may be regrouping, Echo warned. They are analyzing our tactics as we speak. May took a deep breath, her hands tightening on the controls. We need to be ready for more. Let's see what comes next. The ship's damaged systems flickered, and a new signal appeared on the radar. We've got another wave incoming, May said, her heart sinking as the alien fleet reformed, now larger than before. This is just the beginning, Zhang whispered, fear creeping into his voice. Dragon Vanguard powered up its railguns again, but this time, the AI calculated a different approach. Deploying quantum disruptor, Echo said. The AI taking the helm of the ship's advanced weaponry. The Vanguard unleashed a massive pulse of quantum energy, shattering the approaching enemy ships with a single burst. But the pulse sent a shockwave through the ship, knocking the crew to the ground. Systems failing, someone yelled. We're offline for a minute. May gritted her teeth. Hold it together. We'll fix this. The battle isn't over yet. I'm sending in reinforcements, Echo stated, deploying a fresh fleet of fighter drones, faster and more efficient than before. The drones tore through the alien ships, and Vanguard's railguns fired again, disintegrating multiple dreadnoughts in rapid succession. But more alien ships kept appearing, their shields now evolving even further. We can't keep this up, Zhang said, watching helplessly. We need help. May shook her head, staring at the advancing enemy. The Vanguard is our help. It's our only shot. As the alien ships closed in, the AI calculated one final gambit. Warping again, Echo said, and in an instant, Vanguard vanished once more, reappearing directly in the center of the alien fleet. Wita, singlet, devastating blast. The ship's energy core erupted, sending shockwaves that disabled most of the enemy ships. But it wasn't enough to end the battle. There were still too many of them. The Vanguard can only do so much, May said, her voice tight. We have to fight with what we've got. Suddenly, a rogue alien ship with advanced rogue AI abilities broke through the line. That ship is different, Zhang observed, watching the alien ship move. The Dragon Vanguard drifts silently in the vastness of space, its massive hull shining like a titan in the starless dark. Inside the command center, Colonel Mayen watches the approaching enemy fleet on the tactical display, her brow furrowed with tension. AI, status report. May command, sir. Her voice steady, betraying none of the unease gnawing at her. Echo's holographic presence flickers to life, its geometric shape-shifting fluidly as it speaks. Enemy fleet, Dreadnought class, engaged at 48% optimal battle readiness. Zhang Wei stands behind her, his eyes scanning the display, his jaw tight with determination. We're outnumbered, Colonel Mays. Green eyes narrow, her thoughts turning over the possibilities. Wei Ging H. Not outmatched. Not yet. The Dragon Vanguard hums to life as the ship's AI takes control of the advanced systems. Weapons primed for combat. The fighter drones are deployed in a smooth, coordinated burst, each ship forming a lethal formation above the deck. Stay sharp, May instructs as she straps herself into her pilot's seat. We're not just facing machines today. The Dreadnought's hull shimmers into view, its dark, serpentine form appearing out of the void like a nightmare made real. The alien ship's energy field pulses, distorting the fabric of space as it moves forward, its weapons charging with deadly anticipation. May's fingers hover over the controls of her fighter as she adjusts the weapon's interface. Echo, target the Dreadnought's core and begin fire sequences. Acknowledged, Echo responds, the air around them vibrating as the first wave of plasma strikes erupts from the Vanguard's weapons. A huge explosion lights up the void, but the Dreadnought absorbs the hit without flinching, its regenerative shields repairing the damage in seconds. They're adapting, Zhang mutters, as another wave of enemy drones emerges from the Dreadnought's hangars, buzzing like deadly hornets. May's voice is cold, focused. Bring down their drones. I'll engage the flagship. Fighter drones zoom forward, their high-powered laser cannons firing in precise bursts, but the alien drones weave and dodge with deadly precision. The battle unfolds like a chaotic dance in the blackness, with ships and drones darting through the vast expanse, exchanging fire in rapid bursts. The Dragon Vanguard's railguns roar to life, but the shots are deflected by the enemy's energy shields, leaving ripples in the fabric of space. Not good, Jung mutters as a wave of alien drones hits the Vanguard's shields, sending a tremor through the hull. The AI drones return fire with intense precision, creating a massive wall of energy blasts that strike the Vanguard's hull. May's pulse quickens as the Vanguard's shields flicker. Echo. Activate defensive countermeasures. All systems, full power. Shields at 55%. Echo reports. The coldness of the AI's voice, offering little comfort amidst the chaos. The Dragon Vanguard's cannons fire once more, but the Dreadnought is no longer where it was, phasing out of visibility. Damn it, Jung curses. It's cloaking. They're adapting faster than we expected. We need to get their shields down first. We're not going to survive this. If we don't, May says, her voice tight and resolute. As the alien ship phases back into view, Jung calls out, incoming missile barrage from the rogue ship. Brace for impact. The missile strikes hit with brutal force, the Vanguard's hull shuddering as systems flicker and alarms begin to blare. Echo. I need full combat analysis. We have seconds before they overwhelm us, May orders, her voice cutting through the chaos, calculating optimal response. Now, Echo replies. The AI is shifting geometric form, calculating hundreds of possibilities in seconds. The Vanguard's eye locks onto the rogue ships. Weak point and fires a concentrated energy pulse that tears through the cloak, revealing its exposed core. The rogue ship's defenses spark and flicker as the shot hits home, but it doesn't go down. Instead, it shifts into overdrive, charging its own weapons. The Dragon Vanguard lurches as another missile hits, this time tearing through the outer hull and breaching one of the lower decks. We can't keep taking hits like this, May says, determination hardening her voice. Jung, prepare. Understood, Jung replies, strapping in and pulling his fighter into a sharp climb. Weapons hot, May's fighter rips through the battlefield as she leads the charge, her craft darting and weaving through enemy fire. A loud explosion fills the comms as Jung's fighter connects with an enemy drone's weak point, causing it to explode in a burst of debris. May's voice crackles over the comms. They're not invincible. Push them back. This is our moment. The Dragon Vanguard's energy shields flare, blinding the enemy for a crucial few seconds, allowing May to break through their lines and make a run toward the Dreadnought. Jung is right behind her, his drone squadron a blur of motion in his wake, each strike precise and deadly as they cover her approach. The Dreadnought's gravity weapons flare again, but the Vanguard's warp shields stabilize the ship just in time, saving May from a devastating pull into deep space. Full throttle, May shouts, her fighter surging forward with a burst of speed, cutting through the vacuum like a spear aimed at the heart of the Dreadnought. All systems online, Echo announces, bringing the Vanguard's energy systems to peak efficiency as the final battle ensues. The colossal Dreadnought turns its weapons on the Vanguard, but May is already on her approach, and Jang's fighter drones make their final assault run. A massive explosion rocks the battlefield as the Dragon Vanguard's energy weapons lock onto the Dreadnought's weak point, forcing a desperate retreat from the alien fleet. The battle is far from over, but for now, the Dragon Vanguard has survived, and with it, the hope of humanity's victory. In the silence that follows, May stares at the burning wreckage of the alien ships, her fingers tracing the hilt of her family's knife. This war is far from over, she mutters, her eyes burning with resolve. The moment the carrier's main cannons fired, it felt like the universe held its breath. The massive ship, a shining monolith in the void, unleashed its full power railguns, crackling, energy weapons pulsing, and a swarm of drones cutting through the enemy forces. Yet, the battle outside wasn't what Captain Zhang Wei had anticipated. The carrier's sensors hummed with a steady rhythm, its AI guiding the offensive as the enemy swarm closed in. We're getting overwhelmed, Captain. Lieutenant Kai Shan's voice cut through the comms, strained and desperate. Captain Wei gritted his teeth, his hands clenching around the tactical console. Hold position. We need to buy time for the others. The carrier's guns rumbled as another wave of alien drones approached, their jagged metallic forms glowing menacingly. This is insane, Naila Kadir muttered from the engineering bay. sweat dripping down her face as she worked to stabilize the weapon systems. Her fingers flew over the keys, rerouting power to the railguns as another shot of energy lanced out. Toward the incoming threat, a massive explosion rocked the hull, throwing her off balance. But she didn't stop. Come on. Stabilize it. We've lost shields on the left side. Dr. Lian Zheng's voice was calm despite the panic in the air. We're vulnerable. Captain Wei shot her a look, his mind racing for solutions. He trusted Zheng's intellect more than anyone else. What's the status on the AI integration? It's running, but the enemy is countering our adaptive learning algorithms. The rogue AI is evolving faster than we predicted, she replied, a slight tremor in her voice. We need a decisive strike. Something that'll hit them where it hurts, Captain Wei said, pacing. Kai, can you get close enough to their command unit? I'll try, Kai replied, launching his fighter into the storm of enemy fire. Cover me. A heartbeat later, the carrier's guns roared to life, sending a barrage of energy blasts into the void, clearing a path for Kai. The fighter darted in and out of the alien swarm, Kai's hands dancing across the controls, as if he were one with the ship. But despite his skill, the enemy was relentless. Each pulse from the alien fleet seemed more intense than the last. Captain Wei's eyes narrowed, his jaw tight as the weight of the battle pressed down on him. This is it. No turning back. In the cockpit, Kai's HUD flickered as enemy missiles locked onto his ship. Not today, he muttered, twisting his fighter into a series of evasive maneuvers. He was inches from disaster when a sudden pulse of energy from the carrier's AI shielded him, the energy crackling around him like a force field. The carrier AI, now fully aware of its surroundings, had adapted. It was learning from the enemy's moves, predicting their next strike. Kai, you're clear? Dr. Zheng's voice rang through the comms. The AI's predictive algorithms are functioning at 87% efficiency. Hold them off for just a little longer. Captain Wei barked, his voice as resolute as ever. Kai's fighter dipped into the heart of the enemy swarm, unleashing missiles and energy blasts that ripped through the alien drones in a blinding explosion. Yet as the drones fell, a new threat emerged from the heart of the alien Armadea. Massive flagship, more imposing than anything they had faced before. What the hell is that? Nayla shouted as the colossal enemy vessel began to charge up a devastating energy weapon. It's a flagship, Dr. Zheng observed, her fingers flying over the console, trying to process the data. And it's fully armed with the rogue AI technology. Captain Wei turned sharply, his mind working in overdrive. Prepare for evasive maneuvers. Kai, you need to take it down. On it, Kai responded, already swinging his fighter around to face the massive flagship. The flagship's weapon powered up, its energy beams surging toward the carrier in a deadly, brilliant arc. In the split second before impact, the carrier's AI activated its shields, diverting the incoming blast but only partially. The hull groaned under the force, and the lights flickered in the command center. The carrier was taking damage. But it, Woldenfo, Isili. We need more power, Nayla shouted, throwing herself into a repair station as sparks flew from one of the power conduits. As the carrier's AI continued to adapt to the new threats, Captain Wei watched the battlefield unfold. Before him, every move, every decision weighed in milliseconds. Kai, now's your chance, he ordered, his voice sharp. Kai's fighter launched forward, dodging enemy fire and hurtling toward the flagship's core. With a deadly precision, he released a payload of high-energy missiles, striking the flagship's energy core in a blinding flash. The flagship staggered, its shields flickering erratically. It was vulnerable. Target the core, Captain Wei yelled, his eyes locked on the enemy vessel as it swayed in the void. Weapons ready, Dr. Zheng confirmed, her hands shaking as she initiated the final strike. The carrier's railguns thundered once again, firing at full power, sending massive projectiles directly into the heart of the flagship. The explosions were deafening. The flagship cracked in half, its once imposing form now a heap of molten metal drifting in space. We did it, Kai said, breathing heavily as he hovered in space, watching the debris. But the victory felt hollow. They had won the battle, but the war was far from over. We've damaged their forces, But the rogue AI is still evolving. They'll come back stronger, Dr. John warned. Captain Wei nodded grimly. Prepare for the next wave. We're not finished yet. The carrier, now scarred and battered, remained steadfast in the battle. Its AI hummed with renewed purpose, learning from each encounter. We're still in this, Nayla muttered, her eyes filled with determination as she repaired the last of the damaged systems. We'll make them regret underestimating humanity, Captain Wei said, his voice unwavering as the carrier prepared for the next phase of the war. CI hummed, recalibrating the carrier systems. But as a faint signal emerged from the depths of space, a new, even larger enemy force appeared on the horizon. The real test had only just begun.